Good morning, everybody. Coming at you with the exercises for the beginning of this week. All right, we've got some of our new band exercises and our new stability ball exercises included in this workout. So we're going to start with our band front squat and press. So last week we did the front squat. We're going to add the press to it. If you do not have bands yet, this can be done the same exact way with a pair of dumbbells like we've done so many times. So if you do have your band, I suggest going with your lightest band to start. For me, that's going to be my green. So we're going to stand on that band, feet about hip width, and we're going to start in that rack position. So you should already feel a little bit of tension right here. Focus on pulling the elbows into the rib cage, abs in nice and tight. From here, we take our normal squat. Just like last week, the elbows press forward. As you stand, abs come in nice and tight, glutes squeeze, and we're going to press straight overhead. You may rotate the palms forward or keep the palms turned in facing themselves. Either is fine, whatever you're comfortable with. Lower back down to rack position. Drop into that next squat. Quick squeeze from those glutes. Big stretch overhead. Most important to pay attention to on this one is that your abs and glutes stay pulled in tight at the top. If you don't engage the abs, what happens on that press is an arch in the back, not a very good position, not good on the low back, and not good on the shoulders. So our focus is on everything pulls in tight, big squeeze, open up those armpits and shoulders, control back to the middle. The next one listed on there is our band row, which I'm going to do in just a minute. I'm going to show you in a separate video using a pole to wrap around, and then it's also showing you the option if you don't have something to wrap around. So next up are our stability ball rows. So I've got my stability ball. This row is going to utilize one dumbbell. So my dumbbell is in one hand. The opposite hand and knee are going to rest on top of the ball. All we're doing is adding a little bit of instability, a little bit of balance challenge to this row. So if I'm facing you, one foot out to the side, hand out to the side with the dumbbell, knee and hand on. The farther away from you your ball is, the more balance it's going to take. So roll that ball in nice and close to you if you need a little bit of extra help on this one. From here, it's our basic row. Abs in nice and tight. Squeeze that elbow back. Rotating through the shoulder blade. Nice and strong range of motion. Couple things to look for. Number one, the glute of the leg that is connected to the floor should start getting tired on you. You're using that glute as part of the balance. Most likely you have more weight on that leg than you do on the stability ball. So if you're feeling that glute, good job, you're doing it right. The other, and what makes it nice about the stability ball, is if you rotate your shoulders and use momentum on this, it's going to move your ball all over the place and make it a lot harder. So using the ball is going to force you to tighten everything into place, utilize the core, and pull just from those rowing muscles that we want you to pull from. Next on our list, talking about balance, are our stability ball lunges. If you have been in a tribe class, especially a tribe life class, you have done these. They're a really good balance challenge. I suggest starting with a broom or something that you can hold on to, or holding onto the wall for extra stability. So I'm standing on one foot. Ball's going to be pretty close to the other foot. So don't start with that ball way back behind you, or you're going to miss the first part of the lunge here. So scoot the ball nice and close. You're going to rest your shoelaces on top of the ball. Abs in nice and tight. I'm going to take my balance. I'm going to turn where you can see me a little better. Here we go. There you go. Your balance stick should be on the same side as the stability ball or your balance wall. So from here, I'm going to drop lunge. So the front knee is bending, the back leg is rolling out at the same time. So as my back leg rolls behind me, shin going up on top of the stability ball, I got a nice big bend in the knee and that front hip, and then squeezing that front glute, I'm gonna pull it all back in. So again, the leg rolls backwards on the ball, front knee bends, chest is tall, pull it all back in. Couple things to look for on this one. If your ball is rolling side to side on you, most likely that means that your hips are rotating or your back leg is turning. What happens a lot on our lunges especially is that we tend to turn the back knee out and the hip out. If you do that, it's gonna be really hard to use the stability ball. So really focus on making sure that both hips are facing forward and that that back knee and chin face straight down onto that ball, okay? Use that front glute. That's what you wanna feel getting tired, is the glute of the leg you're standing on. Squeeze that glute to lift your back up. All right. Next on our list, our dumbbell lateral lunge and high row. I'm gonna take a pair of 8s. You're looking for a pair on the light to medium side, I would say. We're gonna take our lateral lunge like we always do. We're gonna high row when we come together. So I'm gonna step out wide. Arms are gonna drop right between. Chest is tall, shoulders back. Come together. Both arms high row. Stepping the other direction. Arms come center. Chest up tall. Back together. Nice big squeeze and high row. Watch the chest on this one. With the arms being in front and centered between your legs, you're gonna have a tendency to drop that chest. Even if your back is straight, I don't want you close to the ground because your chest is fallen. I want you close to the ground because your glutes are down low and you're getting nice and low. So keep that in mind. Shoulders back, collarbones up, chest tall, sit low in the legs. All right, last one on the list for the moment are our lying wipers. So this one, we have probably all done at some point. Lying on the ground, arms are out with our palms up to the ceiling. If you remember these from class with me, I always talked about not putting palms down because then we use the strength of our hand and forearm to help us up. We want to relax the arms as much as possible. Palms up, legs are straight up over the hips, not over the face. So going for right over the hips, abs in nice and tight. We are taking the legs as far sideways as you can without the shoulders coming up. So squeeze those feet together. My hip comes off the ground, my shoulders are down. Oh, my arm is starting to come up. Time to pull back. Switching sides as far as I can. Opposite shoulder in the ground. Squeeze back to the top. What we are trying to prevent from happening is this. Because then you end up using other musculature, especially upper body, to help counterbalance and pull you back. We want it to all come from here and through the inner thighs a little bit. So anchor your shoulders into the ground and your mid-back and focus on just the core. It may severely limit how far you can go, and that's perfectly fine. Focus where we want to focus. If the legs being up bothers the low back, you can do the same movement with the knees bent. Just make sure that the knees aren't pulled in over your chest. You want those knees directly over the hips, and then it's the same move. It's as far sideways as you can go. Squeeze back to the top. All right, guys. I'm gonna change the video for a second. I'll see you in just a minute for rows.